What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I told you this video is coming. Here it is. Let's get right into it. Now, I'm getting sick and tired of some of these so-called boxing fans with their gripes and complaints about things that they shouldn't be complaining about. Now, I'm not expecting everybody to like every particular fight that's laid out. That's cool. But when people say they don't like fight A and they wish fight B were to happen, and then you look at the dynamics between the two, it's like, what are we really arguing about? So let me take some of y'all to school. Now, this is for those who are talking about Amir Khan and complaining about the fight with Devon Alexander. Let me tell you, as a boxing fan, straight up, no Bay Area bias, because Robert Guerrero is from the Bay, and I am too. And some people are complaining that Amir Khan has selected Devon Alexander as opposed to Robert Guerrero. So let's look at it. Now, me personally, I'm okay with either fight. If it went either way, I would have watched it. I think they're both good fights. However, you can't shit on the fight with Devon Alexander and then big up the fight with Robert Guerrero, and you really look at the dynamics and look who we're comparing. Like, I don't get it. Like I said, if you're not a fan and you just left it at that, that's cool. But then when you want to talk about like Devon Alexander ain't shit as an opponent, but Robert Guerrero is, let's take a look at the actual factuals. So, one thing, Devon Alexander stylistically is a better boxer than Robert Guerrero. Straight up. You know what I mean? He's almost 5'9". He's a southpaw. He has a slicker style. Robert Guerrero has showed me some technical ability in the past, but he's been pretty far removed from that. I don't know if I think it's his father or something. It just wants him to fight like some goddamn wild slugger. He's a warrior. You guys like when I do that. But yeah, maybe it's because his trainer, dad, Ruben Guerrero, wants him to like show he don't have baby nuts. I don't know. But whatever it is, Robert Guerrero has been fighting like that. Like just off pure machismo, showing how tough he is and that he has a beard. That's not always cool, you know what I'm saying? Because the name of the game is to win. If you look at Robert Guerrero's last fight with Kamagai, that was a nobody. You were supposed to treat them like a nobody. Nobody in the States really knew about Kamagai, and you fuck around and made them look like somebody. And at the end, your eye was all bashed up. You were just talking about how you did all this CrossFit training and all kinds of stuff like that. And by the fight's end, you look like Chris Algieri after Provodnikov. So Devon Alexander, to me, is a tougher fight for Amir Khan, because Amir Khan, he's been beat by a light puncher. Some of you guys are like, oh, Devon Alexander's a light puncher. And I'm going to get into that in that comparison. But he's been beat by Lamont Peterson. Now, it's kind of controversial because of the 2-point deductions. I'll give you that. But either way, it was a good, close, competitive fight. And Lamont Peterson looked good. He kind of exposed some flaws with Amir Khan's inside fight game. Amir Khan was getting him at distance. It was a good fight. Now, Devon Alexander is closer to like a Lamont Peterson, just in terms of being an overall slicker style, good defense, some offense, good footwork, good speed, stuff like that. Robert Guerrero, like I said earlier, has not really been showing us that. Look at his fight with Kamagai. Look at his fight with Andre Berto. Now that's cool, but let's take a look at it. So we want to talk resumes. Look who Devon Alexander has lost to. They both have 2 losses. Devon Alexander, if you go to look, he lost to Sean Porter, which is a quality fighter, and he lost to Timothy Bradley. Now switch over to Robert Guerrero. We know he lost to Mayweather. That's a given because that was recent. And then he also lost to, what's this motherfucker? See, that's why I don't even remember, the Diaz dude. And it was a split decision loss, and he came back and ended up stopping him. So that's cool. He redeemed himself. But either way, Devon Alexander, because the Diaz dude, nobody even talks about or knows him. He's not relevant. Sean Porter still is relevant, even though he lost to Kell Brook. So, from my perspective, Devon Alexander lost to 2 better fighters. Now, Floyd Mayweather is a great fighter, but so is Timothy Bradley as well. So, you look at that. Then look at Devon Alexander. He's been in there with Lee Purdy. I mean, that's an okay person. Randall Bailey, a veteran with power. Marcos Maidana. He's been in there with Matisse. He won. I thought he should have lost, but he still won. As the record sits, he won. And that was when Matisse, that's before Matisse he wasn't really known. So he had a lot of hunger, and you know what I'm saying? He lost to Timothy Bradley. We know that, kind of gave up in that fight. He beat Kotelnik. He beat Urango by stoppage. He fought Junior Witter. So what are we talking about? Like, look at Robert Guerrero when we talk about resume. Look who, okay, Kama guy. Who the fuck is that? Mayweather Jr., obviously, pound for pound. You beat Berto, who was off of a 15-month layoff for testing positive. Selchuk Aydin, okay, that's cool. He was a mandatory. That was your first fight at welterweight. You had took, I think it was 2.5 years off dealing with your wife's cancer. Cool. And then you look at everything else. Guerrero has some names on his resume, but they're all in lighter divisions, like Michael Katsidis at lightweight, Vicente Escobedo, who Adrian Broner actually ran through. And then if you look at Guerrero, when he fought him, he won via unanimous decision. Casamayor, who at the time when he fought Guerrero, he was a little bit past it. You know what I mean? He wasn't the same Casamayor, I guess you could say. And any way you slice it, these people, the best names on his resume that he's won against have been at lighter divisions. Now, some of you guys are going to complain, how did he get the Mayweather fight? Simple. He put himself in that position. He was calling Mayweather out repeatedly, and it was getting publicity because it was on televised Showtime fights. That's one step. Two, he had the interim belt, so he was the mandatory. So if Mayweather didn't fight him, then you would accuse Mayweather of ducking a southpaw, a rugged guy who just beat Berto, etc. You know what I'm saying? So Mayweather made easy work of it. He took the opportunity, fought as mandatory. That's what I don't understand, the give and take. When a fighter fights as mandatory, it's a problem if you don't like that fighter. When he doesn't fight it, like, oh, he didn't fight Keith Thurman, or he didn't fight, what's his name, Edeslandi Lara, so you have a problem with it. So it's not how it works. If you have a problem with it, just have a problem with it. You know what I mean? Don't have a problem depending on what fighter you give a better shot to beat Floyd. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. Like, oh, yes, I think Keith Thurman could give Floyd a better fight, stop him. So he needs to fight that mandatory. But then you talk shit and call it a cherry pick when it's another mandatory. Get me? So, again, back to Devon Alexander, Robert Guerrero. Who has the better names in the higher divisions? You know what I'm saying? When Devon Alexander fought Maidana, that was Maidana's first fight at welterweight. We already know Maidana's tough. He's proven that time and time again. Randall Bailey has power, and I believe he was just off of the Mike Jones knockout. He had just destroyed him. It was actually one of the best knockouts of that year. And then he fought Devon Alexander. Now, the fight was boring, but it was still a dangerous puncher with veteran experience. Randall Bailey's been in there with Miguel Cotto, etc. He lost to Sean Porter. He also Devon Alexander beat Sean Porter in the amateurs. And I think he might have lost to him in the amateurs too. But needless to say, who has the better resume in higher divisions? Or just in general? I think that person is Devon Alexander. You know what I mean? Jesus Soto Caras, who was just coming off of, I think, the Keith Thurman loss, and before that he beat Andre Berto. So, you know what I'm saying? I think Devon Alexander has an under-respected resume. Then some people are complaining that Guerrero didn't get the shot, talking about how he has all this power. Like, I like Robert Guerrero. I have no problems with that. This is not a Robert Guerrero bashing session. Like I said, he's a local. But who the fuck is Robert Guerrero stopped? Like, where is this power? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, where does this power come? Okay, look at his last couple fights. Unanimous decision. UD. He hasn't stopped someone since 2010. And that was in the lighter division. So some people are like, oh, Devon Alexander has no power. No power. Lamont Peterson doesn't really have that much power. And at 140, he gave Amir Khan some problems. And again, why do you want the Guerrero fight? What has Guerrero done? And where's this like alleged power? Because he hurt Berto and Berto recovered and didn't get stopped. Berto that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Okay, Guerrero did hurt Berto early. He swole his eyes up. Great. Berto fought Jesus Soto Caras, a guy Devon Alexander later beat. Soto Caras stopped Berto. Guerrero hurt him early and went the distance with them. So it's just like, where's this infamous power from Robert Guerrero that these fans are talking about? Like, why would you rather see that? Why is that so much better of a fight to you? You know what I'm saying? So I think some people, maybe they just hate Amir Khan Maybe they hate Devon Alexander. Maybe they hate both of them. Maybe they hate me. I don't know. Maybe you're trolling. But this is a solid fight. This is a 50-50 fight. And I'm giving you guys the stats. These are actual stats. I can't make this up. I didn't like just imagine this stuff. These are actual facts and statistics. Another statistic, Robert Guerrero has a lower KO percentage, not by much, but it's still lower than Devon Alexander. Robert Guerrero has a 48% KO ratio. Go look at Devon Alexander. Devon Alexander has a 50% KO percentage. So I'm not really getting it. I don't understand why some people are up in arms and pissed off that Devon Alexander is getting a shot. He has a better resume. He has a higher KO percentage. He's looked more, I guess, less hittable than Robert Guerrero has looked recently. And I'm a boxing fan. I just want to see good fights. But don't make it sound like Robert Guerrero is the greatest fight for Amir Khan and Devon Alexander is a suspect fight. I don't agree with that. And I want to see if you guys do agree with that, support it. I gave you my facts. Let me know how Robert Guerrero is significantly better than Amir Khan fighting Devon Alexander, because I don't see it. Like I said, Devon Alexander seems more defensively responsible. He's a southpaw. He has, I think some people are underrating his power. I'm not saying he's Keith Thurman or Triple G or no shit, but he has decent power. Like, you know what I mean? You're not going to just bulldoze him. He has a good chin. That's another thing that some people aren't talking about. Sean Porter, literally, like, if Devon Alexander is the weakest puncher you know, why did Sean Porter run through Paulie Malignaggi like you know when football players come out and they run through the little that paper for the game and shit? That's how Sean Porter ran through Paulie Malignaggi, another known light puncher. And why didn't he do that? Why did he go the distance with Devon Alexander, even though he hurt Devon Alexander? That's what I'm not understanding, like, the logic. So again, maybe some of you guys don't really follow boxing and you just repeat what someone else said, but that's not how I operate. You know what I'm saying? If you say something on my channel to me, and I'm going to expect you to support what you're saying with actual fact, not just opinion. I'm giving you the fact right now. And then last but not least, Devon Alexander's younger. Devon Alexander's 27 versus Guerrero, who I believe is 31 years old. So I don't understand how this is such a bad fight in the eyes of some of the fans. Now, you might say, oh, okay, it's more boring, but what makes it more boring? Because both guys might clinch. With Robert Guerrero, like I said, I think people are overrating Guerrero's power. I haven't really seen that. Especially at welterweight, I haven't seen him look like the powerful guy that he looked like in some of the lighter divisions. Anyway, I'm done. I've made my case and made my point. You disagree, leave a comment. Let me know why. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video is Ego, signing off.